What's going on, guys? In this episode of Should I Invest, we're going to be talking about Spotify. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do that, go ahead, subscribe, comment down below what video you want me to do a research on, and we will do just that. All right, so I have my handy dandy marketsmith tool. You can see right here. This is the tool I use to research my fundamentals on stocks that I want to invest in for long term. All right, I make sure I go through all this information, and if it makes sense to me, I then invest. All right, if you guys want a copy of yours, link is in the description to get yours today. I have my Excel sheet. This is the sheet that we use to see if at the end of all our research we get a pass or fail. And of course, I have Yahoo Finance that's going to tell me some of the fundamentals that I need to make that educated decision. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let's go ahead and use our Excel sheet. Type in the word SPOT, S-P-O-T. You can see Spotify. It gathers the information here. And let's take a look at the first thing on the list here. We have the EPS. The EPS is a negative 4.48. All right. Now, because of that, we're probably going to get a negative PE. Of course, the PE right here, you can see on the left side here, the PE is also not available because of that negative EPS. So we're going to leave that as NA. And then we're going to come and see the return on equity. And of course, because there's a negative EPS, the return on equity is also going to be 0. All right. What I want you guys to take into consideration that this is a subscriber-based business as well. Okay, and also relatively, in the growth category essentially. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the financials and see if we can see some better numbers there. Okay, so we're looking at total debt to total asset. Okay, so we're going to come down here. We're going to look at the balance sheet. We're going to go and look at total debt. All right, so total debt here, we got 5.2. We're going to put that there. And then we got total assets. We're going to plug that in here. All right, so the debt to asset, total debt to asset does balance. Okay, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead over here and let's go to current debt and current asset. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at current liabilities, 3.5. Whoops. 3.5, and then we got current assets, 4.5. Let's put that here. Perfect. So that also balances out. Next thing we want to look at is operating income, and to do that, we're going to go to income statement. We're going to look at operating income. All right. So total operating income or loss. It's a negative number here, so we're going to plug that in, and we have to see the total revenue. So total revenue here is 11. So we're going to plug that in as well. All right, so we can see the income statement doesn't balance. It's a negative figure here. Okay. However, let's keep going. We got to see the cash flow. All right, so we're going to go to cash flow, and we're going to come down to the bottom here. Is the cash flow increasing or decreasing? All right, so those of you that want to know, this is what I'm looking at right here. So we went from 438 to 181 to 276 to 21. All right, so it looks like based on the last 2 years, it is actually decreasing. So that is something to note there. All right, owned by management. To do that, to figure out where that is, we're going to go back to our handy dandy marketsmith tool right here. We're going to come down to ownership. You can see management owns 30%. Is this the biggest we've seen here? It is. All the research we've done, 25 was the biggest there, and then we had GameStop having, sorry, not GameStop, 24 was AI. AI had 29% ownership, and now here we have Spotify at 30% ownership. Definitely something interesting. Now we want to look at the funds ownership, guys. Let's take a look at the funds ownership. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the numbers of the funds to be increasing here. So June 2021, we have 870, 820, 89, 820, 788, 820, 788. Tough to say, but based on just based on December 2022 and March 2023, we can see right here the number has actually gone up. All right, so based on these two numbers, we can say the number has increased, but it's been up and down. It's been up and down. So let's go ahead and put this here. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. This is still going to be a fail simply because we have cash flow that is decreasing and the income statement doesn't balance. So something to make note of. Obviously, when companies do have a very good, clear, fundamental balance sheet and everything works out, you're obviously not going to find them at the bottom lows here. So to kind of put that in perspective, take a look at Apple. All right, Apple has been on a steady upside, and it's continuously going up. Obviously, fundamentals, cash on hand, everything is increasing there. But when you're looking at a company like Spotify, that is relatively new. All right, so it came in the market around 2018, it IPO'd, and since then it's been trying to get its stuff together. So based on this entire time frame that Spotify has been live, take a look at this nice range that it has established here, right? Back in 2018, from October till around May, it was in this range of around 150 to around 109. We're currently in that same range. So if you can find an average somewhere between this 120 and then have room to possibly add back down at that 180 area, you will have a pretty good average. This is a stock that needs more time to become consistent on the fundamental side, and something that is still growing. There's so many podcasts still coming out. There's so many people going digital, and even with all this AI stuff, all the AI music that's being made, you never know. Spotify might start allowing these AI creators to create music and put it on Spotify as well. So that's another approach that you guys can think of. So with that said, obviously all the investment decision is on you guys. Make sure you do your research, but Spotify is something that I am looking to invest in the long term as well. All right, so if you guys did find value in this, go ahead, comment down below what stocks you want me to do next, and I will gladly do that. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.